Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Israel Brief, the last one before the weekend here in Israel. And after what has been quite a hectic week, I'm Marlene Marks with today's top headlines. And of course, what is dominating the headlines here in Israel is how far we are with finding out who is going to be our next government. So with 95% of votes counted, it has emerged that Kahol Velavan, the blue and white, led by Benny Gantz, leads now by 33 seats to 31, which narrowly increases their gain, but not enough to be the one to form a clear majority and coalition. So, of course, all the talk now is, are we going to go to coalition? Are we going to go to unity government? What is going to happen? And we won't really know finally until Sunday, when President Rivlin calls in the party heads for consultations on how we form the next government. But just to update you where we stand, last night, just after we came off air, Prime Minister Netanyahu had gathered with the ultra-Orthodox and more right-wing parties to form a right-wing bloc, and he said there was no way he was going to enter into what he called an anti-Zionist government. It has to be a government led by him, including the ultra-Orthodox. However, Hayamina have said that, not so fast, Mr. Prime Minister, we haven't necessarily finally agreed to this. And Benny Gantz saying and continuing to say he rather wants a broad, inclusive unity government. Now, as of about 11 o'clock this morning, the Prime Minister softened his stance towards which would be the preferred kind of government, and he started to talk about the prospects of maybe a unity government, and is open to a revolving leadership with himself at the helm. And he said, it has to include the ultra-Orthodox and the right wing. And we have heard from the Kahol Velavan camp, who have said that this is spin on behalf of the Likud. This is maybe a little bit of desperation on behalf of the Prime Minister, that they are pushing for a broad unity government, and that there's no anti-Zionist parties that will be part of that, but it will be a lot more broad and conclusive. But hey, who knows what's going to happen? We'll only really know on Sunday. And in other news, everybody wants to know what President Trump has said about the elections. And in a statement yesterday, the US president said that he had not spoken to Prime Minister Netanyahu yet over the results of the elections. However, he said, our relationship is with Israel. And of course, many are reading quite a bit into that statement. But staying with the US administration, an outgoing special envoy, Jason Greenblatt, who has long been trying to negotiate some kind of peace agreement, some kind of movement forward, will be in Israel next week, and he will meet with both Prime Minister Netanyahu and Kahol Velavan party leader Benny Gantz, who may be Israel's next Prime Minister. But we're only going to find that out on Sunday. And what do the Palestinians think? Well, we have heard from elements within the Palestinian camp, one a senior official saying that Benny Gantz and Prime Minister Netanyahu are like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. It's quite a fizzy analogy. And we have heard from President Abbas, who has said he is prepared to enter into negotiations with the next Prime Minister, as long as it's not Prime Minister Netanyahu. So those are all your election updates. But we end the week on a really, really moving story, and that is an announcement by the head of the World Muslim League, who will join the Chief Rabbinate of France and the Coalition of Christian Churches in France for a visit to Auschwitz next year for the anniversary of the 75th anniversary of the liberation of probably the most notorious death camp that the Nazis built that was responsible for the death of over 1 million Jews, and also other minority communities that included homosexuals, Roma and others. But the aim of this visit is to try and create tools for reflection and understanding, and to promote religious tolerance. And this comes at a very, very welcome time, because anti-Semitism is rising around the world, and it really, really helps when we have initiatives like this that try and foster tolerance and understanding, and also understanding of the pain of the Shoah and the tremendous loss to the Jewish people, and that Auschwitz was not built on gas chambers, it was built on words. So these are all your updates for today, but don't forget that if you're looking for something to do this weekend, you can read our content online. Check us out at www.layoftheland.online. And as we do every Friday, we travel to a different part of Israel to wish you all Shabbat Shalom and a great weekend. Check out our Facebook page and see where we are tomorrow. While you're there, give us a like, give us a follow, invite your friends too. Everybody's welcome. And if you want to, you can check out our Israel Brief channel on YouTube just by simply looking for the Israel Brief, and click on the subscribe button and you will receive your daily headlines Monday to Thursday. I'm Roline Marks with the Thursday edition of the Israel Brief, wishing you all a wonderful weekend and Shabbat Shalom.